Imagine a horse standing before you. Its coat gleams under the sunlight. Muscles ripple beneath its skin with an almost hypnotic precision. You reach out, touch its mane, feel the warmth of its body. But what if I told you that, in this moment, you are not merely touching an animal, you are touching thousands of years of living history, fragments of species that should have long since vanished, yet survived, silently, within it. In 2023, scientists made a discovery that shattered everything we thought we knew about horses. They sequenced the DNA of ancient fossils and compared it with that of modern horses. What they found has rewritten the history of domestication forever. The horses we know today do not descend from a single lineage. They are a mosaic, a genetic puzzle comprised of extinct species, impossible crossbreeds, and survivals that defy logic. Beneath the coat and muscle of every horse lies an ancient inheritance, the echo of wild creatures that were never fully tamed. Stay with me until the end, because what you are about to uncover will forever change how you view these animals. And perhaps, in the process, it will also change how you view nature itself. There is a secret written in their DNA, a secret science guarded for decades, unaware it was there. Until now, when you look at a horse, what do you see? A loyal companion, a powerful athlete, perhaps a silent friend. But we rarely consider what lies hidden within, the invisible layers of time, memory, and survival that form every cell of its body. The truth is, the horse carries something far greater than its appearance suggests. And this revelation is poised to rewrite everything we thought we knew. For decades, the narrative seemed straightforward. Modern horses descended from a single domestication event, roughly 5,500 years ago. On the vast steppes of Eurasia, nomadic peoples supposedly captured and tamed a single lineage of wild horses. From there, all the equine diversity we recognize was believed to have emerged. Breeders selected for traits. Breeds were developed. The horse became a companion, a mode of transport, a tool of war. It was a linear narrative, elegant, easily recounted in history books. And for a long time, no one questioned this version. But in 2023, an international team of geneticists published a study that obliterated this certainty. They sequenced the DNA of horse fossils unearthed at archaeological sites spanning Siberia, Mongolia, and the Iberian Peninsula. Some of these remains predated 10,000 years, bones preserved in ice, entombed in caves, shielded by earth. And when researchers juxtaposed this ancient genetic material with that of contemporary horses, they uncovered something utterly unforeseen. Genetic traces from lineages presumed extinct were demonstrably present, alive, active, functioning, as if time itself had been incapable of completely erasing them. Today's horses are not the progeny of a singular domestication event. They represent a biological mosaic, a tapestry woven from myriad species, multitudinous crossbreedings, and countless survivals that science had deemed impossible. The horse you observe grazing in the pasture is not merely a human creation. It is a survivor, and within it lie dormant echoes of a past we believed irrevocably lost, voices that never ceased their whisper, even as the world around them underwent profound transformation. This revelation compels science to confront an uncomfortable query. If horses harbor genes from extinct species, then what, precisely, are they? What are the implications? It signifies that we must fundamentally revise our historical narrative. For if modern horses carry the genetic imprint of extinct species, then domestication was not the process we heretofore envisioned. It was not an act of subjugation. It was an encounter, a fusion, a tacit accord struck between humanity and something far more ancient than itself. And this accord irrevocably altered both parties. To fully grasp the magnitude of this discovery, one must journey back through time. 50 million years ago, the progenitor of horses was a diminutive creature, akin in size to a dog, known as Eohippus. Over vast epochs, it evolved. It grew, it diversified, it disseminated across entire continents, forests, plains, mountains, Arctic tundras. Each environment sculpted a distinct lineage, yet not all persevered. Climatic extinctions decimated entire species. Glacial periods entombed continents in ice. Only a select few lineages endured. And for an extended period, scientific consensus held that only one of these had given rise to the modern horse. It was a pristine narrative, devoid of contradictions, free of enigmas. The 2023 discovery has decisively proven our error. Researchers identified genetic sequences in extant horses that correspond to species considered extinct for upwards of 15,000 years. Horses from the Siberian Arctic regions, horses from the temperate forests of Europe, horses from the open plains of Central Asia, all different, all adapted to extreme environments, all extinct, or so we thought, because, in truth, they never completely vanished. They merged. At some point in prehistory, these lineages interbred, and the genetic traces of each survived, fragmented, within the DNA of the horses we know today. Like pieces of a puzzle no one knew existed. It's as if the modern horse is a living archive, a biological database holding the memory of lost species. Every gene tells a story. Every DNA sequence is an echo of a creature that walked the earth when the world was entirely different. And this changes everything we know about domestication. Because if these ancient lineages are still present, then the horse was never truly transformed. It merely revealed, over time, what was already hidden within it. Domestication did not create the horse. It merely invited it to display who it always was. Domestication, therefore, was not a singular event. It was not a revolution. It was a multiple, dispersed process, occurring in different places simultaneously. Man did not create the horse. He merely drew near something that was already poised to walk beside him. And this proximity, this alliance, allowed fragments of extinct species to persist, protected, encoded within the DNA of an animal that accepted our companionship. And perhaps, at its core, this has always been the only conceivable form of domestication, not through force, but through mutual acceptance. Now, here is where the narrative becomes truly captivating. Scientists haven't just found random genetic traces, they've discovered functional genes, active ones, genes that encode specific traits and still influence the behavior and biology of modern horses. For instance, certain horses carry genes for adaptation to extreme cold, inherited from ancestors from the Arctic regions of Siberia. These genes enable the animal to regulate its body temperature more efficiently. They generate more internal heat. They survive harsh winters without losing vitality. It is no coincidence that some modern breeds, like the Yakut horse, are capable of enduring temperatures of -40 degrees Celsius. They did not learn this. They inherited it. Other horses carry genes associated with complex social behaviors. These genes originate from lineages that thrived in vast herds across open steppes, where survival hinged upon constant communication, a clear hierarchy, and unwavering cooperation. These genetic markers elucidate why certain horses exhibit innate cooperativeness, heightened empathy, and a profound sensitivity to human body language. It is not a product of training, it is inheritance. It is the genetic memory of an era when group living was the determinant between life and death. And there is more. Researchers have identified genetic sequences associated with emotional resilience. Horses possessing these sequences tend to recover more swiftly from trauma. They are more readily trusting. They forge deep bonds with humans, as if genetically predisposed to encounter us. These are not traits that emerge through domestication. They were already present, latent, awaiting their moment. It is as if the horse was, genetically speaking, already prepared to meet us. Researchers have also observed something symbolic. Even after millennia of domestication, modern horses still share identical genetic sequences with their wild progenitors. It is as if a part of them never capitulated, never fully embraced the transformation humankind endeavored to impose. It is as though, within every domesticated horse, the untamed spirit of an ancient prairie endures, dormant, yet alive, poised for awakening. This compels us to ponder. Did we truly domesticate the horse, or did it merely elect to stay? Have you ever contemplated the implications of this? When you ride a horse, when you groom its mane, when you meet its gaze and feel that inexplicable connection, you are not merely interacting with a domesticated animal. You are touching something wild, something that carries within it the memory of ice ages, of endless plains, of herds thundering beneath an open sky. And this memory is not metaphorical. It is literal, inscribed within its DNA. It influences every movement, every reaction, every gesture of this creature. This is why even the most docile horse occasionally reacts to something imperceptible to you, because it is heeding echoes that resonate from far beyond your comprehension. Yet, here lies the paradox. Science anticipated uncovering a narrative of control, of humanity subjugating nature, of shaping the animal to its will, centuries of artificial selection, of directed breeding, of enforced domestication, but the DNA tells a different story. Even after millennia of cohabitation with humans, the modern horse retains identical genetic sequences to its wild progenitors. It's as if a part of them never truly yielded. Researchers term this genetic resilience. Certain wild traits simply refuse to dissipate. Irrespective of how many generations are raised in stables, how many are fed by human hands, trained to obey, or molded to serve, something remains untouched. Within every domesticated horse lies an inviolable core: the instinct to flee at the first sign of danger, an acute sensitivity to their surroundings, the imperative to live in herds, the capacity to perceive and instantaneously react to human emotions. These are not learned behaviors, they are genetic echoes, biological memories of a time when survival depended solely on their own capabilities. And this silent resilience is, perhaps, what renders them so extraordinary, because they did not submit. They chose to accompany us, yet never ceased to be what they always were. And it is precisely this essence that may captivate us. The horse's DNA unveils a profound truth about the very nature of domestication. It is not a conquest, nor a triumph of civilization over the wild. It is a negotiation, a silent pact, to coexist, but never to be entirely subjugated. Every cell in a horse's body bears the imprint of this ancestral accord. You can witness it in their gaze, in that profound intelligence, that autonomy that never fully recedes. Even the most docile, most trained, most obedient horse harbors within itself the memory of what it means to be free. And perhaps this is why the human-equine relationship has always been distinct, closer, more reverent, because deep down, we know they chose to remain. The horse never bartered its freedom for security. It merely agreed to walk alongside us. And this choice, reiterated over thousands of years, has shaped both horse and human. For to domesticate is not to dominate, but to learn to coexist with that which can never be entirely possessed. And perhaps this is the most crucial lesson the horse's DNA imparts. So, here lies the revelation that alters everything. The horse was never truly domesticated, not in the classic sense of the word. It was not transformed. It was not reinvented. It agreed to accompany us. Domestication was not a human achievement, but a mutual accord, a silent pact between two species. We offer shelter, sustenance, protection. They offered strength, companionship, trust. Yet, they never relinquished what made them wild. And this hybrid nature, this genetic mosaic of ancient lineages, is proof that evolution is not linear. It is emotional, forged from adaptations, alliances, impossible survivals. The horse is not our invention. It is a guardian, a living archive of Earth's biological history. Every gene it carries tells a tale of averted extinction, extreme adaptation, ancestral resilience. And when you look into a horse's eyes, you are not merely seeing an animal. You are witnessing the culmination of 50 million years of survival, of impossible choices, of improbable alliances. The horse is testament to the fact that nature does not give up. It adapts, it transforms, but it always leaves a fragment of itself untouched, awaiting the opportune moment to awaken. Perhaps this is the most profound truth science has unveiled. The horse does not belong to us. It never did. It simply chose, at some point lost to time, that walking with us was worthwhile. And within it, protected by millennia of coexistence, still reside the voices of species that time sought to erase, but that nature, in its infinite wisdom, decided to preserve, as a gift, as a reminder that not all must be controlled to be understood. So, the next time you behold a horse, remember, within it rests an ancient map, etched in genetic code. Each hoofbeat echoes the voices of species time has extinguished, yet they persist in its flesh, its memory, its gaze. The horse is not the product of human domestication. It is evidence that nature always leaves a piece of itself in all that it cherishes. Share this video if you believe that science reveals not merely data, but sacred mysteries about life itself. And subscribe to Inside Horses, for the world of horses is only just beginning to tell its true story.